friends, Mr. Kobe Harlan and Mr.
Our graduates, I say congratulations. The stage, we will be watching to see if you are wearing comfortable shoes. Thank you, John. Our student speaker is Jason Holley. Jason is graduating today with a BA in Political Science with highest honors. In his 4 years at UCSB, he has balanced a strong academic record and membership in the honors program with work as a research assistant, participation in intramural sports, and volunteer activities. As part of the Education Abroad program, Jason spent a semester in Ghana, West Africa, where he volunteered at OSU Children's Home, an orphanage for abandoned and abused children. This past year, Jason has worked as a teaching assistant for a course on public speaking taught by Professor Jody Enders. This will serve him well, not just as your speaker today, but in his future career. Next fall, Jason plans to attend law school and hopes to become a criminal defense attorney and ultimately a federal court judge. Please welcome your student speaker, Jason Holley.
Welcome, friends, faculty, dignitaries, Dean Oliver, Chancellor Yang, but most of all, the graduating class of 2011. What an honor it is to speak on behalf of this extraordinary graduating class. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Do not go where the paths may lead, but go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to do what UCSB has taught me to do best, to speak from my mind and to remain open-hearted. Nearly 1 year ago today, 2 Education Abroad friends and I visited a rural earthen hut village in the northern region of Ghana, West Africa. A young, wide-eyed Ghanaian child approached me out of a mud hut, wearing nothing more than tattered cloth. The young boy looked up at me, and in a broken English accent, he said, Mister, what is it like where you're from?" I smiled at that young boy and I looked around his village. I saw the most beautiful thing. I saw generations of families outside living together in one community. I saw women dancing in the streets. I saw a people who, despite having no worldly possessions, seemed to have an abundance of happiness and heart. I looked down and I smiled at that young Ghanaian child, and I said, "I live in this place called the University of California, Santa Barbara, in a village that is all not that different from your own." I looked at that young boy and I said, "Like your village, our friends have become our families. Together, we eat, sleep, study, party, laugh, and cry, and live together in a community unlike anywhere else on earth. Our professors, or village elders, have armed us with the knowledge to tackle today's social ills. And while many of us have the luxury not to worry about our next meal, with this luxury comes great responsibility. And as I look again into this sea of a powerhouse of intellect and potential, my mind is put at ease. Because whether it be global warming, the political unrest in the Middle East, or our current economic or job market ills, none of these ills are too great for us to tackle. Because we have been trained by the best professors in the world and loved by the best of friends. Today, as I look across the field of graduates and their personal posses, I see mixed emotions. I see tears from the graduates who are just now realizing that this is our last day in this utopia we call UCSB. I see tears of joy. Yes, I see the parents standing, I think, right over there. Tears of joy because you are just now realizing you don't have to make a single another payment to the BARC account. And lastly, I see tears from the graduates who are just now realizing that this day that sometimes it seems so far, and sometimes an impossibility, is finally here. Now I'm going to take you back a few years. Bear with me. Do you remember the first day you went to the mailbox, you opened up a letter, you received the UCSB acceptance letter? You were overcome with joy, but did not fully understand the implication of that piece of paper. What you did not know is that during the next 4 years, you would change, reinvent, and discover who you are. You would become a force to be reckoned with in the real world. We have come such a long way. And I understand that the road from convocation to commencement has not been easy in this world-renowned university. Yet even through this academic battlefield, we have survived. And we have survived with countless memories. Do you remember that first call back home after your parents dropped you off at the dorms? You were so excited to see them drive away. But then I think it was a week later you called back and you lamented how homesick you were and you wanted them to come back and visit. Do you remember that one person who in all of your classes ruined the curve? Yes, you. Do you remember that first waft of lagoon stench on that warm 85-degree day? Do you remember the first time you visited your professor's office hours? Your voice trembled and your heart raced, but somehow you made it out alive. Lastly, and I hold this one very dear, do you remember the first time your bicycle got stolen? Do you remember the second time your bicycle got stolen? And yes, I'm sad to say, very true, but do you remember the third time that your bicycle got stolen? Ladies and gentlemen, these are the memories that will form the backbone of who we are. When I look back to my little Ghanaian friend, I am reminded of how quickly the world is changing. In these days of email, Twitter, internet, Facebook, and global satellite televisions, the world is shrinking. It is one world, populated by so many different environments and points of view, but with one underlying common bond: the bond of healing and progress. And no human rights violation, no matter how small, can hide behind the darkness of isolation, because we have the ability to shine light on all corners of the world. UCSB has instilled in us the wonderful gift of progression and innovation. And wherever you find yourself next year, please know that the Gaucho flame will forever burn in us as we effect great change in the world. As we sit here on the grounds of a campus of unparalleled beauty, at the edge of the largest body of water circling the globe, we have so many wonderful people to thank for this opportunity. We thank you, our parents, and our friends, for providing us with this magnificent opportunity. We thank you, the highest caliber of administrators and faculty who have worked tirelessly and patiently down the long and winding road to finding ourselves and to helping us become UCSB's ambassadors of change. We will not let you down. Our bond with this university and with each other will underlie the rest of our lives. And we will be there for that little Ghanaian boy and billions of other brothers and sisters like him, as we affect great change in this world. So, in closing, I recently spoke with a fellow Gaucho alumni, and he gave me some few words of advice. First, I hear it is no longer socially acceptable to walk into random houses on the weekends after we graduate. I hear, and he learned this the hard way, that this actually lands you in prison. Secondly, remember, do not wear flip-flops to job interviews or commencement speeches. I know it's going to be hard. And last, remember that we do not know everything yet. And for a matter of fact, Dad, would you please teach me how to tie a tie? To the University of California's Santa Barbara graduating class of 2011. Congratulations and Godspeed.